Hey guys, today I just wanted to take a minute and tell you about how I thought this was a good helmet, but eventually ended up switching to this Icon motorcycle helmet. When I got my e-bike, I saw a lot of people using the Ruroc. I believe this is I'll put the model number in the description, but it's the Ruroc, helmet that everyone has that buys a Super 73, and a lot of e-bike users use this helmet. And when I bought my Juiced Scrambler, I bought it as well, thinking it was a good helmet. But basically because of three main reasons, I switched to a motorcycle helmet. And I'm gonna go over what that was and kind of the pros and cons of each of these. It is a big difference, and it really was a big improvement to my whole e-bike riding experience. The first and most important reason why you should not get this helmet, and that is my recommendation to not get this helmet, is because of the visibility. The visibility is so poor on this. When you have the goggles on, you cannot see anything. You can see like a little slit like this. And when you're riding, you can't even see your hands if you're looking out. Now this is a snowboarding helmet. Ruroc makes helmets for action snow sports primarily, and this helmet was never designed for riding a bike. Even the company themselves says it. And I know people who have spoken with Ruroc and say, what's up with this? And they're like, honestly, we never intended this to be very popular with Super 73 riders and e-bike riders. It just happened because primarily it just looks cool. And it does look cool. You look like a stormtrooper with it. The visibility is the main thing. I'm telling you, you can't see anything, and you're not gonna like that. The second thing is just the heat that you get from the design of this thing. It's a very hot helmet, especially around your eyes. Now it's not as hot, honestly, the motorcycle helmet is just as hot in general, but the design of this makes it so there's foam around the goggles, because they are literally ski goggles. Remember, this is a ski helmet, and when you're in snow, obviously it's cold and that's not a factor, but if you're out in not snow, it gets very hot. There's foam that seals your eyes from snow on this helmet, and that just makes it so hot. Yeah, it's just a cold weather helmet, honestly. And I'm just looking at some notes on my computer here. The third thing is just the design and how it's three pieces, and I don't think that makes this as safe as this. I'm going to talk about all the pros with this, but I'm talking about the negatives of this first. Just in case you're not even interested in the motorcycle helmet, just please do not get this helmet if you have a bike. It's just not, you're not going to be happy with it, especially at the price point, which is like $200 or $300, I think. I got it on sale for maybe $150, but normally it's over $200, and it's just a stupid purchase. But yeah, so it has three pieces, to it. Basically, it has the goggles here that come off very difficultly because it locks in the back. So you unlock this, right, and then you pull this off. There are your ski goggles. You could wear these as, their own ski goggles. There's that, and then there's the top section here, and then the bottom chin guard, the jaw section, which comes off like this. So you have those two pieces here. Now, if you just wear this alone, this is actually a pretty nice helmet. I love the clasp system on it. I like the look. I like the little visor. There's also like a GoPro mount under this visor. You can just pull off the visor and mount your helmet. It's a good helmet like this, and it's also a good helmet like this, just with these two pieces. Really what it comes down to is the worst offender is this right here. Like I said, you can't see shit. Like really, you cannot see your hands when you're riding, and it's just so hot. I mean, it's foam. It's a ski mask. It's ski goggles. But with this design, it also just doesn't make me feel very safe because of the way that this clasps together. Now on a full face helmet like this, this is one piece. But on this is two pieces, and honestly, this latch is very weak to me. I could totally see if I went down, even at 15 miles an hour, maybe even less, if you went down and hit the ground like this, which a lot of accidents happen on bikes, you fall forward and you end up hitting your chin on a full face helmet, I feel like this would snap right off the helmet. It would just go instantly, and you would be exposed. So for me, it's not a good thing. A lot of people aren't as concerned about that, but I think that if you have a full face helmet, you should have the full face protection, and I don't believe this has the same amount of protection you can get out of a motorcycle helmet like this or a downhill skateboarding helmet, which I'll talk about in a second too. Also, this just doesn't have the same rating. You know, these things are DOT rated, and there's other European ratings that are even better. I don't think this has DOT rating. Maybe it has the same rating as a bicycle helmet, I believe, but anyway, might be wrong. Moving on to why I switched over to this. This is an Icon Airflight in the, you know, this colorway. There's other colors. There's black, white, and a bunch of different designs. Primarily, the benefit that I get from this is the feature set, right? And then secondly is the protection. So what I mean by the feature set is, first of all, the visibility is absolutely perfect. You cannot even see this helmet when it's on you. You can't see it on your face at all. The second thing is the visor system, right? Like this visor comes up. There's this internal, I think they call it like sunglasses basically, has a little switch on the side here. And when you flip that down, the internal sunglasses come in. So you can have two levels of protection, or you could have this one be clear for night riding and this come down in case it gets bright during the day. I personally have these both dark, just my personal preference. But you can switch these out. I think these are about 40 bucks each, the Shield. These are like 20 bucks. You can switch these out to any colors. These also have like mirrored and a bunch of different options, but basically the visor on this is awesome. Great visibility, great clarity, and the fact that you can actually have the, you know, sunglasses feature when you want it. Really great wind protection. It's just great. It's just knocks us out of the park. I mean, this is nothing. This isn't. It's just a completely different helmet compared to this. This is just, you know, you can actually switch these out, and I have different lenses for these ski goggles, but you can't do that while you're riding. In this, if it's a bright day, right, and you have the shaded visor down, and then you go into a tunnel or go into some dark area, you can just pop it up. You know, you can't do that with this. It's like very difficult to get this from here to the top of your head. It's just cumbersome with this. With this, it's just like magic. You just flip it down, flip it up. You can flip the sunglasses down when you want, flip that up. It's awesome. So that visibility in the visor section is the first reason. The second reason is the communication system that I have in this. So in this, I have a full, basically, headphone setup with a microphone. And then it also has this receiver here, which is kind of the brains of it. The communication system I have on this is called the Cardo Pack Talk Slim. There's also a Pack Talk Bold. They're the same thing. They just, one separates the battery from the brains and the controller here. But basically, this allows me to connect to my phone. I can have phone calls. I can be on FaceTime. I can listen to the radio. There's a built-in radio with this. I don't use that. And then there's also a communication feature, like a walkie-talkie feature that you can use for local communication to other riders with the same system. Now, you might be saying, can you put that in a Ruroc, or can you put that in a bicycle helmet? No, not really, because these helmets have specific cutouts in the foam on the inside to allow you to install it without pressing in on your ears. Because if you do that on this one, you wouldn't have any room. Also, it's just impossible because it doesn't stick. I'm looking at it now. It looks like you might be able to get one in here, but the microphone is also an issue because the microphone in here is stuck inside this area right here. It's guarded by the wind very well. It's always secure, and this one always comes off. I wouldn't really do it in that. Also, in terms of mounting it to the back, you're gonna have a big issue mounting the system on this. I might be wrong. Like, it might be possible to rig it up, but it's not made for it. This just installs perfectly. Super like low profile. The battery mounts to the back. It's just awesome. It just feels like a really integrated system. And the last thing is the protection, right? So, I mean, when you're dealing with this, you are probably good up to, you know, 20 miles an hour, 25, maybe 30. But like I said, I'd be concerned about the jaw piece coming off. With this is literally, you know, meant to go 60 or 80 miles an hour in a crash and you're gonna live. As far as I know, at least. So this makes me feel much more safe. I mean, there's nothing that's gonna happen to me where I'm gonna die on my bike. I know that for a fact. You get the full, DOT protection. This is, made for motorcycles. It's made for going 60 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. In the wind, if you go down, you're gonna live. And also it just works better at those speeds, because remember, these are not meant for the same thing. This is meant to keep snow out of your eyes, basically. There's also like a Reco reflector in here, that helps you if you are in an avalanche. They can find you that way. But I'm not going near an avalanche anytime soon with my bike. So this has way more features. I feel really good about the protection with it. It's very comfortable. It's a little bit heavier than this, but you get used to it. Just the features are awesome. It's just so much better. Now, in terms of pricing, this is, like I said, this was around, I think I got this for about $200. This is much more expensive. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, with this setup, but you can get cheaper. I mean, this helmet, I think, is $220. And then I got the communication system on top of that, which was another about $150. So it's about $500 helmet versus a $200 helmet. But this is going to last a very long time if you are careful with it and don't drop it. And obviously, if you're in a crash that's bad enough, you have to, basically any type of crash, you have to replace this. But honestly, crashes are pretty rare on electric bikes. It doesn't really happen that much, especially one where you hit your head hard. As long as you're not going 40 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour. So I really would recommend the motorcycle helmet. The only other option I would recommend is the TSC downhill skating helmets. A lot of my friends who have Onyx bikes wear those. I'll link it in the description. Basically, this is a ski helmet. There's a bike helmet, that I have, for just riding my normal bike. I have a Burn bike helmet. Then this is kind of, you could consider that the most protective, the most, feature rich. The bike helmet is on the lower scale. This is like some weird in between, but the TSC, I believe that's the name, the downhill skating helmet is kind of in between the bike helmet and this, because it's meant for you to go faster, has much better protection than a bike helmet. It's a full face with a full chin guard, but it also has the nice visor style of the motorcycle helmet. Like I said, a lot of people who I know who have Onyx motorbikes use those and are very happy with it. I don't think you can put the communication system into those downhill skateboarding helmets though. I think that's exclusive to this, and I think you can probably rig it up to this if you mess around with it. It looks like there might be some cutouts here, but I don't know how I would rig up the wiring for the mic and everything. But yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. I started off with I have a bike helmet. I got this, didn't like it. I'm gonna sell this, but now I'm very happy with this. I think I would also be pretty happy with the downhill skateboarding helmet, but I would miss the communication aspect, because honestly, I like to listen to music when I ride. It's very safe. It's not like a lot of bass or anything, so you can really hear cars and everything pretty well. It's not the best sound quality. It's not like you're listening to Bose headphones or like Sony over the ear noise canceling headphones. It's not like that at all. It's relatively tinny compared to those, but it's not bad. It's fine. Like, you can totally listen to podcasts, be on the phone. Also, just like getting directions from Google Maps is super helpful. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with this for now. I don't think I could really get any better of a helmet setup, although it is like $500 or $600. Like, so take it with a grain of salt. If you don't want to spend that, get something else, or just use AirPods with your bike helmet and go and be careful. But for me, I ride my bike all the time. I'm always on calls. I'm always getting navigation while I'm on the bike, and this is really the only way to do all that comfortably and safely. In the best way. So this helmet's awesome. I could do an in-depth review of this if you guys want, but yeah, I'm super happy with it. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll try to answer them. I'm really just making this for other e-bike riders and people who have Super 73s and Juice bikes, Onyxes, and that type of thing. I haven't seen any other videos talking about, like, honestly, how bad this helmet is. I don't understand why people buy it. It's terrible. Do not buy the Ruroc. Sorry. We like Ruroc. let me be clear. We like Ruroc as the brand, right? The helmet is good for what it's intended for, but it's not intended for bike riders or e-bike riders. Now they did make a motorcycle helmet, by the way. I should mention Ruroc made a DOT certified motorcycle helmet that looks kind of like this with the Ruroc styling. I've looked at some reviews of that. It doesn't seem like it's that well received, and honestly, I would just it might be fine, but I would just go with a motorcycle brand like Icon or Shoei or something like that if you want to go for this. So yeah, that's how I see it. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and yeah, hope this was helpful, and I'll see you later. Peace.